Okay. Ready on Ellis, or do you need to speak to him in a breakout room?
Please, Judge.
Okay, you can exit out. Okay. Like next time. Okay. All right. Hit join on your screen, please. So we have a tether violation here. Smile. Well, actually, they just want to talk.
Okay. I've never done this, so
Okay, so.
I mean.
Okay. All right, let's call Mr. Ellis' case. The people of state of Michigan versus Jacob Tyler Ellis, case 2405794. Mr. Ellis is charged with 2 counts of controlled substance, delivery, manufacturing, narcotic or cocaine, less than 50 grams. Set for a tether violation hearing. Appearances.
Donna Tobe on behalf of the people, PA 7439.
And good morning, all. James Schroff, 30720, behalf of Mr. Ellis.
Mr. Ellis, state your full name, please.
You're back on mute, Mr. Ellis.
You're on mute, go ahead.
Jacob Tyler Ellis.
Thank you. We have an opportunity to look at the election report.
Yes, Judge.
I looked at the report and spoke to Mr. Ellis as well.
So they asked him where he at?
Okay, how would you like to move?
Your Honor, based on that, my client is going to acknowledge that he is in violation of that tether, the one time alleged.
Anything from the people?
Judge, the people would object to him being released back on probation or on this tether, I should say. Mr. Ellis was put on this tether on 6/27/2024. A day later, on 6/20/28, he violated his house arrest, and he was also he notified officers that he ingested heroin. He was unresponsive and taken to the hospital, where he was admitted for about 8 to 9 hours. Given the charges here that are controlled substance less than 50 milligrams, the people are concerned not only for the safety of the community, but also the safety of Mr. Ellis for being out on tether one day and already violating and going back to drug use. For those reasons, the people ask that he not be released back on tether.
Okay, I have a question. On 6/24, the arraignment was held. The bond conditions state that there's a tether requirement imposed and that he was not to go to 13535 next. I don't see in here where there was even a requirement that he be on house arrest.
That's my understanding as well, Judge. He was on house arrest.
Okay. Since his exam or his PCC date is set for Friday,
Yes, it is.
and based off of the report with the drug usage, him having to go to the hospital, what I'd like to do is keep him there until Friday and then readdress bond after we set an exam date.
That's fair enough, Judge. And I was very recently appointed. I'll be seeing Mr. Ellis at the jail before that time.
Okay, so I will see you all 8:30 August the 5th. And at that time, please make sure to remind me to address bond.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see you soon, Mr. Ellis.
Lamont. A police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing set for an exam. Appearances.
Down on behalf of the people, P 7 for 39.
And Vanessa Hamilton, PA 2107, on behalf of Mr. Hart, stands to my right. Would you say your name?
Charles Hart.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone ready to proceed?
If the people are not ready to proceed at this time, the complaining witness, the police officer, Judith today called in sick. For those reasons, we cannot move forward and ask for a brief adjournment until he's feeling better and able to.
Your Honor, we'd object to adjournment. We're here, we're ready to go, and we're just hearing about this right now. And so we would ask without some sort of date when it's going to return, in this case, be dismissed, and then they refile.
Do you have any idea what type of illness?
No, Judge, I just had the call-in sheet, the call-in sick sheet. I was notified earlier today. Had not been in contact with him.
I'm going to dismiss without prejudice. Once officer as well, then it can be the issue. Anything else for the record?
Nothing from the.
No.
What's your birthday off the record? Mr. Hart? Okay. This is case 2457474, the people of Intermission versus Jerome Cecil Terrell, charged with count 1, assault with intent to murder, count 2, assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation, count 3, weapons, firearms, discharge in or at a building causing injury, count 4, weapons, firearms, possession by a prohibited person, count 5, 6, 7, and 8, weapons, felony firearm with an official offender second offense notice set for example appearances.
Good morning, Rhonda Hadar for the people, P84161.
Good morning to the Honorable Court, Carla Marable, number 62755. On behalf of my client, please state your full name for the record, sir.
Good morning, Jerome Terrell, Jr.
Good morning, Mr. Terrell, you can have a seat. Any preliminary matters outside of the sequestration order?
Yes, Judge, it's well, as it relates to the sequestration order, it's my understanding there's a witness in the courtroom, the defendant's wife, Ms. I think it's Aliyah Terrell was at the scene of the incident, so the people are going to ask, oh, never mind, I'm sorry, she lost, I'm sorry.
We'll just make a record. She is a rest just star witness, which means that she was there, but I don't anticipate calling her.
Okay.
But she's not here in the courtroom, so it's not a problem.
Okay, so with that, no preliminary matters.
Okay. If there's anyone else in the courtroom who may testify or is a witness on this case, you must exit the courtroom now. With that, you can call your first witness.
Thank you, Judge. The people are calling Mr. Wade McCarver.
Walk this way, sir. You need to walk down here, go around that corner, and get the court reporter sitting there, and state and spell your name for the record. Stand right here, raise your right hand, just wait.
Good morning. Swear to come true. Take the time once you situate to make sure you speak up to the black microphone when you testify, please.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Mr. McCarver. Can you please state your name for the record, please? And were you at a party on Manistee Street on April 20th of this year?
Yes, it was.
Is that in the city of Detroit, County of Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of party was that?
It was a birthday party.
Okay. And do you recall that friend's name?
Yes. Terrell.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask you to speak up a little bit, or if you want to pull the microphone closer to you, just put your left.
Okay. Terrell.
Okay, thank you. And around what time of day did you arrive at that party?
It was about 12:30 a.m.
And had you ever been to that house before?
Yes, I have.
How many times did you say?
5 or 10 times, maybe 5 or 10 times.
Okay. And do you know who lives at that house?
Yes, Terrell and her husband.
What's her husband's name?
We just called. I didn't know his nickname was D.
Okay. As you said.
John, I'm sorry. John.
Okay. Okay. And how many people were at the party at the house when you arrived?
Approximately 20 inside,
And did you know all the people inside that house?
not all.
Okay. And how long were you at that party approximately?
About a half hour.
Okay. Who did you go there with?
I was there with a friend, Jamar.
Okay, and, how did you get there?
I drove to Mark.
And, when you got to that party, did you speak with anyone at that party?
A few people in the house were, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Few people.
Okay, and, did you, speak with any women at that party?
A few people that I knew there, yes.
Okay, do you know the name of, any women in particular that spoke to you?
Yeah, it was, Sela was excited. She said, hey, how you doing?
Objection. Objection to what Sela was said, because for hearsay.
That's okay, no issue. Did a person named Stila, speak to you?
Yes,
Okay, and was that a friendly conversation or was it like a meeting conversation?
traveling, I'm very happy to see us.
Okay, and how long was that conversation?
Not long.
And how far away was Stila standing from you when she spoke with you?
She originally saw us maybe 10, 15 feet. Most.
Okay, were you in the same room?
Yes,
Okay, and what, if anything, happened, after you spoke with Stila?
just general conversations inside the room. Probably about 10 people in a small dining room.
And did you see anybody speak to Stila after she said hi to you?
Yes,
Okay, who did you see speak to her?
instantly I saw the defendant walk right up to her,
Okay,
give her a look like, why are you speaking to them?
okay, when you say, who do you-
Objection to gave him a look of why it's cause for assumption. I asked that that be stricken from the record. Cause him to assume.
he can testify to his observation of what people were doing.
And it needs to be clear that the defendant did not say that, correct? The person you're referring to didn't say anything, could we just look at him a certain way? I mean, look at her a certain way?
Okay,
He can testify to what, the person did, but he said, like, which asked for assumption. He assumed certain things.
okay, Mr. McCarver,
So say.
okay. You indicated you saw the defendant approach Stila, correct?
Correct.
Do you see the defendant here today in court?
I did.
Can you point to him and identify pieces of clothing?
Wait, sure, thanks to the.
May the record reflect the victim has identified the defendant, Mr. Terrell. Okay, and, did you see the defendant say, did you hear the defendant say anything to Stila when you approached her?
I was kind of loud, so I don't know what he was saying to her.
Okay, how did the defendant appear when you approached her?
Kind of like he was upset that she was speaking to him.
Okay, did you see him do anything with his hands at that point in time?
Not really, I didn't pay too much attention.
Okay, and how did Stila appear when the defendant approached her?
She looked back over at us like, I was startled.
You think so?
Kind of startled.
Objection, it calls for speculation of what she thought. This witness is trying to say how she thought, and that's cause for speculation. Now, the prosecutor can lay a foundation and it may get in, but it calls for speculation.
For him to say she looked startled, I don't think it's speculative, but to go into the like she was, or to start describing how she felt with you. So I will allow for the testimony that she looked startled.
Thank you. Okay, so, Mr. McCacker, had you ever, met the defendant prior to this night?
I've seen him before in another house they used to live in, but never a conversation. I don't know.
Okay, do you know about how many times you've seen him before?
Maybe 2, 3 times most.
Now, do you know, did he have a relationship with Stila to your knowledge?
Objection, it calls for speculation.
He
Or
can
unless-
testify
If
to,
he knew,
If he
the
knew.
defendant may have said something.
and he indicated that he doesn't know, so, okay. Now, what, if anything, happened after you, saw Stila and you observed this interaction with the defendant?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What, if anything, happened after you saw Stila and observed this interaction with the defendant?
Just general conversations were going on in the room. And I want to say maybe 15 to 20 minutes later, I was sitting there and I was abruptly struck across my face.
I'm gonna stop you there. Do you know what you were struck with?
I felt like some type of object. I didn't know. I was kind of blindsided with it.
Okay, and where were you sitting or standing when you were struck?
Sitting.
Okay, were you sitting in a chair or on a couch?
Yes, on a chair.
Okay, and who was around you when you were sitting down?
I know. It was just kind of when people were just constantly mingling around.
And did you see who struck you?
Not at the exact moment until I came out of my daze. I seen him move.
When you
just
say him, who do you mean?
The defendant.
Okay. So what did you see the defendant do after you were struck?
I was kind of dazed. Got myself together, look up. He was maybe 8 feet in front of me with a firearm shooting.
Okay, and is that the same person that you see you're saying for?
Correct.
Okay, and, can you describe the firearm?
I look like just a small handgun.
Okay, do you know what color it was?
Black, I think.
Okay, and how many gunshots did you hear?
That I recall, because I was still kind of dazed, and then as I'm getting back to it, this happened within seconds of each other. I want to say 2 to 3.
Okay, and were you struck?
Yes, I was.
Where on your body were you struck?
My right thigh.
And, was the defendant saying anything to you as he was shooting you?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay, did he say anything to you that whole night?
Not a word.
Okay. And, what, did you see anybody else there with a gun?
No.
Okay, and did you yourself have a gun?
Yes, I'm a CPO.
Okay, where was your gun when you were being shot?
My holster on my hip.
Did you ever pull your gun out?
Not at that moment, but once I got in, once I scrambled for safety, went into the kitchen area, everybody scrambled to get out of the way. Trying to get out of the house, I pulled my gun for safety, like, where did this guy go? Like, I don't even know where he went.
Okay, and when you say here, you're referring to the defendant?
Correct.
Okay, you indicated that you went into the kitchen area?
Correct, by
Where-
which was the side door right there,
Where in the house were you seated when you were shot?
right next to the kitchen in the small dining room.
Okay, so did you get up and walk after you were shot?
I ran.
Okay. And did you, ever discharge that firearm that day?
I did not.
Okay. All right, so what if anything happened after you were shot?
I got to the side door and I'm wondering, like, where'd he go for protection and safety? Jamar, who I was with, once I realized I was shot, he's like, you gotta go to the hospital right now. I went outside, I started feeling faint. I kind of stumbled by the car. Jamar helped me in the car, threw me in the passenger seat of my car and rushed me to the hospital.
And which hospital did you go to?
Beaumont, Grosse Pointe.
Okay, I'm gonna take you back to the incident. Did you ever say anything to the defendant when he was shooting?
No,
Did you ever threaten him that day?
never.
Did you talk to Sela again after that first interaction?
Just general conversations were going on in the room, so not really.
Did you hear if the defendant said, oh, I'm sorry, never mind. Okay, so once you were at the hospital, did you speak to the police?
They came to see me day after, because I had multiple surgeries.
And did you turn over your firearm to the police?
Yes,
Okay. Were you ever shown a set of photos and asked to identify someone in this case?
yes,
And were you ever able to identify anybody, from the set of photos?
not on the ones they were all very similar, and I was very sedated.
Okay, so, how are you able to identify the defendant here today in court, but not in those photos?
One, I'm not sedated, seen him from meeting him before.
Okay. Now what kind of injuries did you sustain as a result of the shooting?
I was shot in my thigh, had a large opening on my inner thigh. Doctors had to go down to my lower extremity because I bled internally within. They call it Cartman syndrome. So I had large 18 to 20 inch long fasciotomies, about 3 inches wide. I completely lost. I have a permanent foot drop in my foot now. It's permanent. They had to remove tendons. Can I be replaced?
Did you come in here today, is your left leg,
Right
wrapped
leg.
up? I'm sorry, is your right leg wrapped up today in court?
Yeah, after procedure, I get wound care 3 days a week, so you have to rewrap it and rechange the care on it 3 days a week.
And are you carrying a bag with you today?
Correct.
What is that bag for?
This is the one bag that keeps the pulls the whole bad blood out, keep it clean. That has to be changed once a week.
And are you able to walk on your own 2 feet today?
So,
Have you been able to go back to work at all?
not at all. I'm in the restaurant. I'm a career restaurant guy, and it's completely altered my life probably forever.
Okay. And had you ever, you indicated that you've seen the defendant, maybe like 2 or 3 times prior to this incident. Did you ever have any problems with him prior?
Never.
Did you ever have any problems with Sheila?
Never.
Do you have any problems with anyone in that house that night?
No, none.
Nothing further.
Good morning, sir. My name is Attorney Merrill, and I have a few questions we think you don't understand, so you don't understand, I will try to clarify. Okay, so you were at a friend's birthday party, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's nighttime, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's fair to say that at 12 o'clock at night, it's dark outside, there's street lights and there's lights inside of the party, correct?
We were in the house.
He was in the house, okay. So the party is strictly in the house, it's not outside on the back porch or
That's
front
correct.
porch? Okay, now, you're friends with the people. You're friends with the people that had the party, correct?
Correct.
And you had known, some of the people there, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And just to be sure, previously, before that night, you were not friends with my client, had never seen him before, correct?
I've seen him before, but I can't say we were friends. He used to live at a house prior to where they lived before, so I've seen him outside their house before.
Okay, so you had seen him before, correct?
Vaguely, yes.
Okay,
Not
so,
knowing who he was or just knowing he was around.
okay, so this is the question, because if we want to be very, very clear.
Sure.
Is it your testimony today that before this particular incident, before that night, you had seen him before?
I've seen him amongst over their other house outside of a group of people.
Okay, so you didn't know him and you had never had a conversation with him, but you had seen him at the people who held the party, home prior?
Correct.
Okay. Did you tell the police that?
I'm sorry,
Did you ever tell the police that?
tell them that I've seen him before?
Right,
I don't recall.
okay,
I don't know if I was even asked that.
okay, so, people are inside, and of course, you know the people who've given the party, correct?
Yes,
And you knew other people, correct?
few.
So you're just having fun, correct?
Correct.
Are you drinking?
They just gave me a shot to have a toast for birthday.
Okay, so you had something to drink,
Yes.
okay. Had you smoked any marijuana or any other kind of drug?
No.
Okay, so you had a shot of what, bourbon or
No, they were doing a shot of tequila for the birthday.
tequila? Okay. So you have a shot of tequila, you're socializing, right? You say that you're sitting down when you're struck,
Yes, ma'am.
so you're sitting down in a chair?
Yes.
Are you sitting next to anybody?
There was a small dining room, so there was people everywhere just kind of leaning.
Okay,
I can't tell you who's sitting next to me.
so you didn't see who struck you, correct?
I was kind of,
At the time that you were struck, you could not tell who struck you, correct?
I was blindsided by it at the moment.
And that doesn't answer the question. At the time that you were struck, could you tell who struck you?
No.
Okay, because you didn't see it coming, because if you had saw it coming, you would have tried to stop it, correct?
Correct.
So the person, whoever it was, they struck you, you fall, correct? When the person struck you, you fall to the ground?
No.
Okay, well, tell me what happened.
I started a little bit, came to my senses to like get out of the chair.
So the person that struck you didn't hit you hard enough for you to fall to the ground, correct?
I did not fall to the ground
Okay, but you are startled by it.
for a brief second.
Okay. And at the time that you're startled, what's going on around? People are, of course, people are.
You can hear
yelling.
commotion starting. When people are like, what's going on?
Okay,
And please go ahead.
this is the thing, did you hear any names?
Names?
At the time,
Like,
because you're being struck, what do you hear?
I just hear commotion.
Okay, commotion. So you don't hear any conversation, you just hear commotion.
Correct.
Okay, so you're struck, but you're not hit to the ground, and what happens then?
Then I go to get out of my chair, kind of startled. I look up, and there he is in front of me.
Okay, when you say in front of you, right, because you're sitting at the dining room table, correct?
I'm sitting in a chair in the dining room.
Okay, you're sitting in a chair in the dining room, right?
Yes,
And is the chair next to a wall?
it's backed up to a wall, but nothing in front of it. It's kind of
Right.
wrong here, but it's
So how far is the shooter from you? Are they like as far as I am from
No.
you? Or,
much closer, half the distance that you are now.
okay,
Not even, much closer. I want to say 8 feet.
and the person shoots, correct?
Correct.
And then what happened?
And then the whole place, now I'm scrambling for safety. And I run towards, you see everybody running one way, so we all run. Because there's a bunch of people in the room. Once again, small dining.
Okay.
Somebody's opening fire, of course, everybody's running.
Now, you agree with me that you were given a photo ID to try to identify someone, correct?
Yes, I was sedated.
Okay, so this is the thing, what day was it given to you? You had been in the hospital and had your surgery, correct?
Yeah, I had 2 surgeries by then.
Right? And at the time that they meet with you, you're able to talk to the police, correct?
Yep. Yes,
So the police are able to talk to you, ask you questions, and you're able to answer their questions, correct?
to the best of my ability at that time being sedated.
Okay, now you keep saying being sedated, right? If you didn't say, I'm too sedated to talk to the police, correct?
I didn't know any better.
Okay, this is the question. You didn't say that, I don't feel good, can you come back? I'm just not feeling well. You didn't tell the police that, correct?
Didn't know to.
Okay, the question is, so if you're not feeling well, you're gonna talk to the police and interact with them?
They're starting their investigation, absolutely I am.
Okay, so even though you wasn't feeling well, you were still gonna do that,
The
right?
question has to ask and answer, the question's been asked in 4 different ways.
Well, I mean, I'm confused about it, because what I'm trying to get to is that if he was so sedated and not feeling well, why didn't he speak to the police? Maybe I can read
He
it
answered the
correctly.
question. Ask.
Okay, if you were so sedated and you felt like, why did you talk to them at that time?
I'm a victim,
Okay. And you're trying to get to the truth, correct?
of course.
So you felt that it was okay to talk to them at that time, but you later say that you were under the influence or sedated, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
At the time that you spoke with the police, you now say that you were sedated, correct?
Did I not say I was? No, I'm not, you don't know you are when you're that type of person.
Okay, now you say you were, right? You were sedated,
Correct.
right? But you still spoke with them, right? You're trying to give them as much information as you can,
That's right.
right? And you agree with me that you was given a lineup and you didn't pick my client up.
Right.
But you also didn't give a description, did you? A description,
Yes, I did.
okay, but what description did you give?
I just, black male, dreads, from what I remember. It's in the police report.
It's in the police report, I'm looking at it. But there was other black men there, correct?
Yes,
Okay, And dreads is not a, uncommon hairstyle, because there was even other people with dreads there, correct?
Didn't pay too much attention to who had present, who didn't.
Okay, this is the question. There was other people at the party with dreads on.
I can't, I don't.
You don't know, okay. But you agree with me that you didn't give a height? A height,
I believe I did.
okay. Did you give a, skin complexion? Dark, light, brown?
I don't remember all the descriptions that I gave. That was over almost 3 months ago.
Okay. Okay. So you don't give an ID, you're unable to keep anybody else an ID, you agree with that, correct?
From the photos that they had,
Right,
yes,
okay, so you're later, released from the hospital, correct?
almost 3 weeks later, yes.
Okay, now, because it happened at a friend's house, did you talk to your friend about the incident?
No, still not to by the police.
So you never talked to the owners or people who gave the party, correct?
Correct.
Now Jamar was your friend that took you to the hospital, did you ever talk to him about it? Like, did you see what happened? Did you know what happened, this and that?
We briefly talked about it.
Okay, so you have talked to someone about it, Jamar, about the shooting, what happened, how it happened, correct?
Yes,
Okay, have you had numerous conversations with him about it?
I wouldn't say numerous.
But you had more than two.
I can't count how many.
Okay,
Sure, maybe two.
okay.
It's not something I really like to talk about and relive.
Okay, so with these conversations that you have had with Jamar, is you and Jamar trying to figure out who did this to you, correct?
I'm trying to figure it out. No.
Okay,
No.
you and Jamar are talking about what happened that night, correct?
We talked about the incident.
Okay, are you talking about what happened? Is a yes or no question? sir?
Yes.
You're talking about the person, correct?
Talking about the full incident.
Yes. So a lot of your information, because you had these surgeries and you were under medication and you're drowsy, a lot of this information you're getting from Jamar, correct?
Not true.
Okay, why is it not true? Because you had a conversation with him and y'all were talking about it.
But you're assuming that I'm getting it all from Jamar.
No,
Just
no,
because I had 2 conversations with him.
no, I'm not trying to assume anything.
That's what you said.
No, this is the thing. Is when Jamar is telling you things, are more things coming to light for you?
No.
Okay. Thank you, no more questions.
Redirect, just briefly, Judge. Mr. McCarver, you indicated that you had 1 shot that night.
Yes.
Were you too intoxicated to recall what happened?
No.
Do you have a good memory of what happened as it stands now that you're no longer on any kind of drugs at the hospital?
Absolutely.
And how certain are you that the person that's here today in court is in fact the person that shot you that night? Okay. And why are you so certain?
Because I back remember in the blind state, seeing the man that was in front of me, I just shoot him.
The people, police officer, Deanna Corbin, if you want to sit, you want to otherwise you're free to leave there. Or you can- I would take that for you. Understand. You're just like, just text me if you're gonna say it's not. Okay, all right, thank you.
Walk this way, step around.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Thanks for everything.
Detective Dion, or first name D-I-O-N, last name C-R-B-I-N. Thank you. Yeah.
Make sure you speak up in the microphone, testify, please.
Okay.
Good morning, will you please state your name for the record?
Detective Dion Corbin,
Are you employed?
yes,
How are you employed?
Detroit Police Department.
And what is your relationship to this particular case?
I am the officer in charge of the case.
Okay, and as the officer in charge in this case, did you investigate the defendant?
Yes,
And is that Mr. Jerome Terrell?
yes,
Did you pull his criminal record?
yes.
How do you pull someone's criminal record?
You use the talent system,
What is that? What is spell that?
TALON.
Okay, what is that?
Pretty much is database composed of driving history, criminal records, firearm information, vehicle information.
Okay, and did you do that for Mr. Jerome Terrell in this case?
Yes,
And did you learn if Mr. Terrell has a prior felony?
yes.
What is that prior felony?
It is great bodily harm, less than murder, or strangulation.
Okay, and what day is that prior felony conviction from?
It is September 1st, 2005,
And what court did that come out of?
3rd Circuit.
Okay. Nothing further for this witness. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I just had one more. Were you ever able to ascertain whether or not that felony was expunged at all?
No,
Okay. Would the talent system tell you, give you some kind of notice of that information?
I have no knowledge on it, no.
Okay.
So my understanding is that if that felony was expunged, you would know.
No,
Okay, now, you said that you ran the talent system to see. It runs the felony, doesn't run convictions, because you can be charged with a felony, not necessarily conviction. Does it show conviction?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, but you don't have any certified paperwork from the clerk office showing that there was a conviction?
No,
Okay. So, and would HIDA or anything else show up on that?
yes, HIDA does show up, when it shows up, it says HIDA.
Okay. But you don't know from the clerk office if there's certified conviction, correct?
No, not from the clerk's office.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing for the people, no.
Yeah.
Okay, the people call Mr. Jamar Dodson.
I was gonna ask for all the proof, but I just heard the exchange.
Yeah,
Wait, sir, step all the way down, go around, get on this report order, state, spell your name for the record, and the judge will swear you in after that.
So once we use this way, just make sure you get the black right, okay?
Good morning, will you please take your name for the record?
Jamar Johnson.
And were you at a party on Manistee Street on April 20th of this year?
Yes,
That in the city of Detroit, County of Wayne?
yes.
How did you get there?
I rode with Wayne.
Say that, oh, you rode with
I
Wayne?
rode in the car with Wayne.
Okay, and who is Wayne to you?
Friend
How long have you known him for?
of 25 years.
Why did you go to that house that night with Wayne?
It was a friend of mine's birthday party.
Whose birthday?
Her name is Terrell.
Had you been to that house before?
Yes,
How many times?
4 or 5.
And how many people were at the house when you guys got there?
More than 10 to 15.
Okay, and do you recall around what time of the day you guys arrived at that house?
Then maybe about 11:30ish.
Okay, was it at night?
Yes.
And do you know how long you were at that house for?
It was less than an hour.
Did something happen involving Wayne while you were there?
Yeah.
What happened?
He ended up being shot.
Actually, let me take you back. Hold on. So, were you with Wayne during the course of the time that you guys were there together?
Yeah, we were together. Yeah.
Okay. And, did you ever see if a woman spoke to Wayne?
Objection. I remove that objection. I remove that objection. I remove that. Sorry.
Did you ever see if a woman spoke to Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who that woman was that spoke to Wayne?
Yeah. She spoke to both of them.
Okay. What's her name?
Steve.
Okay. And what did she say? Actually, was it a long conversation that you guys had with her?
No, sure.
Was it friendly?
Yes.
And what, if anything, happened? And did you guys address her as well?
Yes.
Okay. How far away were you from her when you guys spoke to her?
Maybe 10 feet, 10 feet.
Okay. And what, if anything, happened after you and Wayne spoke with Sheila?
Can you say that again?
What, if anything, happened after you and Wayne spoke to Sheila?
You said what if anything happened?
What, did anything happen after you guys spoke to her?
Yeah, they had some words, cause, her husband was right there.
I'm gonna stop you there. Do you see, or when you say her, who are you talking, who are you referring to?
Girl, see that was talking.
Okay, do you see Sheila's husband today here at work?
Yes.
Can you point to him and identify pieces of clothing?
Yeah, it was white shirt.
Okay, may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant. Okay, did you see the, Sheila's husband, approach her after you guys, encountered her?
No, we were just sitting, just chilling.
Okay, what if anything, what did you see her husband do anything after you guys talked to her?
He just said something to her, just something my husband said to a wife.
Could you hear what he was saying?
Yeah, they said it out loud. She had said something to us like, cause when we seen we were having this, we were like, oh, hey, after the way, like, come here, girl. Run over. It was a little short conversation like that.
Okay,
He
what,
addressed her, he didn't say nothing to us.
okay, what, I'm sorry, can you repeat, what did the defendant say to Sheila?
Who was the defendant?
Is the person you identified here?
Oh,
today? Yeah.
He addressed it to her wife. I don't know, he said something like, you bet not hug him or something smart like that.
Okay, was he being aggressive?
Not really at first, no.
Okay, how did he appear to you when he was talking?
I didn't pay that much attention.
Okay.
It's just somebody that we talking to their wife, like, this is normal, I guess.
Had you seen Sheila's husband before this night?
Yeah,
How many times?
a few,
Okay. When you mean a few, do you mean like more than 5, less than 5?
maybe more than 5.
Okay. Where did you see him at when you would see him?
In our old neighborhood.
Okay. And is this like a group of the people that you saw at the party night? Is this a group of people you spend time with regularly?
No, it was mainly Terrell and her family.
Okay, all right. Now, you indicated earlier that Wayne was shot.
Right.
Okay, did you see Wayne get shot?
I didn't see him get shot, I see him shot. Well, I see him
Okay.
shot.
Okay, did you see anything happen to Wayne that night?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see happen to Wayne?
He got hit in the face.
Who hit him in the face?
Yeah.
Okay, and you pointed, is that the person you see here today at work? Okay, so, do you know did Sheila's husband hit Wayne, where did he hit him?
In the face.
Okay, did he hit him with his hand or with an object?
Yeah, it was without that.
What object?
It was a gun.
Okay, and where was Wayne when he was hit in the face with the gun?
He was on the floor, when I finally looked at him, he was getting on the floor.
Okay, Do you know where he was prior to him getting hit in the face?
Or like at the house or?
Yeah, yes.
Just in the same living room, I don't know where everybody was sitting.
Do you know, was he sitting or was he standing when he was
He was
hit?
standing when he got hit.
All right. And, did you ever hear Wayne say anything to the person that hit him?
No,
Did you ever hear the person that Sela's husband, did you ever hear him say anything to Wayne before he hit
No.
him? Okay, so then what did you do after Wayne was hit?
like when that happened, I was approaching Wayne, me and the person, I'm sure her husband, was approaching, like, what's going on? And we got set back, like, whoa, we said it was serious when we kind of seen the gun, like me and the husband, Terrell's husband.
Sherrell's, what
I
is
who live in the
Sherrell's,
house, I own the house.
what is Sherrell's husband's name?
Jonathan, Jonathan, we call it Jonathan.
Okay. And so then, what did you see Sela's husband do after he hit Wayne?
He was really telling John, I was like, don't touch me, bro, you chill out. I was up there, but John was trying to see what was going on. Me and him both, we was mainly talking.
Okay, were you trying to break up the fight?
No,
or-
we didn't get a chance, because once we seen what was going on, I said, that's when I backed up. Me and him backed off, we seen what was in his hand.
Did you see Wayne ever like hit Sela's husband back at all?
No, he was still on the floor, he haven't got up yet.
Okay, so then what happened after you and, John backed off?
Once we backed off, we couldn't see, in a second later, that's when we heard some shots.
How many gunshots did you hear?
I want to say 2.
And could you see the shooting happen?
I didn't see the actual shooting, no.
Okay, so then what happened after you heard the gunshots? What did you do?
I was trying to come back towards the room, to the living room where everybody's at, and that's when Wayne was coming towards me.
Okay, what did you do after Wayne came to you?
We got together like in cahoots. It was trying to aim to get out the front door. It was barricaded. So we had to come back around together. We was looking for a way to get out the house together, me and him. And as we were going to the kitchen, he didn't notice he was shot until we was making it to the exit out the side door. Like, dog, I'm hit. And that's when we noticed each other, like, dang, you is. And that was right at that moment. That was like maybe a minute later after the bullet, we heard the shots and all of that.
Okay, and, what did you see Sela's husband do after the shooting?
I didn't see him no more.
Okay. And where did you and Wayne go after you got out of the house?
I got in his car and I drove him to the hospital.
Okay, and do you know if Wayne had a gun that night?
Yeah, when we got outside, he did have a gun.
Do you know if he used it that night?
I know he did.
Okay, you indicated that you know he did not?
Yeah, he did not that night.
Now, did you speak to the police after this incident?
At the hospital, yeah.
And were you shown a set of, a set of photos and asked if you could identify the shooter?
That night, no.
Okay, at some point when you spoke to the police, were you ever shown a set of photos and asked if you could identify the shooter?
Yeah,
And did you make an identification?
I told him what I seen, yeah.
Okay, and is the person that you identified, is that the same person that you see here today in court?
Yeah,
Do you know, did you ever see Wayne have any problems with anybody that night at the house?
no,
Okay, and, did you see Sela's husband have problems with anybody that night at the house?
no.
Okay. Nothing for,
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Connie Mayor. I have a couple of questions with you. So you and Wayne arrived at the house together, correct?
Yes.
Before y'all get there, y'all drinking, smoking, or anything like that when he picked you up?
No, not when we got no.
Okay. Were y'all drinking and smoking on your way going there?
No, when we got in the house with her.
Okay. So when you got in the house, you said that y'all were drinking. How much did you and Wayne have?
We had just opened a bottle, maybe a shot or 2.
Okay. So a shot or 2. And this is before all of this happened, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta say yes.
Yes,
So you yourself did not see the shooting, correct?
correct,
And you yourself cannot say who shot because you did not see it, correct?
correct.
Okay. But you say that there's a time where Wayne is hit in the face. Is there an argument before that?
No,
Okay, so Wayne is not arguing with anybody at the time?
no, not that I heard no loud words of arguing, no.
Okay, So you say not where you heard, you're not next to Wayne at the time that he said in the face, correct?
Correct, I'm in front of him.
Okay, so and you're not, are you paying attention to Wayne or are you interacting with other people?
Yeah, interacting with other people.
So since you're interacting with other people, you don't know if Wayne's arguing or anything with somebody, right?
Right,
Okay. You don't hear it, but you don't know if he's arguing or what's going on,
right.
because you're not paying attention to Wayne.
I'm not, no, right.
Okay. So at some point, you see Wayne on the floor, correct?
Correct.
You didn't see how Wayne got on the floor, correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I heard it was right in front of me.
Okay, you heard it, but did you see
Yes.
it? Okay. And at that time, did you leave the room?
No.
Okay. But you do not see the shooting?
No.
Now, the prosecutor asked you about speaking to this one lady. When y'all came into the house, y'all spoke to everybody, correct?
Correct.
So it wasn't like you and Wayne just spoke to this one young lady. Y'all spoke, because she wasn't the only woman there, correct?
Correct.
There was other women there,
Correct.
right? And y'all spoke to all women, all of the women and the other people there, correct?
Correct.
Did you hug some of them?
When I first walked in,
Okay. Yeah. Now, how do you know Wayne? Do you work with Wayne or you grew up with Wayne or
I
what?
grew up in the neighborhood, Wayne.
Okay, you grew up, so Sherelle grew up in the neighborhood with Wayne too.
Yeah, she's a little younger though, so she didn't grow up with Wayne though, no, but she grew up knowing him.
Okay, so Wayne is a childhood friend of yours that grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yes.
No more questions.
Can you redirect? Oh, just one. You indicated that you had maybe 1 or 2 shots that night. Were you drunk at all?
No.
Okay, were you too intoxicated to recall what happened that night?
No.
Okay, nothing further. I just had a second dismissal. Sorry. At this time, the people are gonna move for bind over on all counts and reserve any argument for rebuttal.
Yeah, no, this is preliminary exam, and the standard for preliminary exam is probable cause. And for probable cause, they have to show that a crime was committed and there's probable cause that the person accused did it. So based upon that is an issue of fact of trial fact.
Agree. Okay. So,
You want to say?
oh, no, I don't have any, yeah,
Okay, I was just making sure you didn't want to add anything to it. Okay,
no,
all right, so no need to spend a lot of time on it. The most serious charge, assault with intent to murder, has been satisfied. I'll just go through the elements. And the rest I won't. First, see if I can show that the defendant tried to physically injure another person. He actually did do so. To the complaint, first person to testify today. Second, that when the defendant committed the assault, he had the ability to cause an injury, or at least believe he had the ability, he definitely had the ability with a firearm. And third, that the defendant intended to kill the person he assaulted, and the circumstances did not legally excuse or reduce the crime. Intent has to be inferred the majority of the time, because often defendants do not state what their intent is. We have a situation here that the defendant shot the complainant and 8 to 10 feet with firearm and actually shot him in the leg because he was not successful in actually killing him, does that mean that he's not intended to do so? So with that, people under that probable cause standard and the remaining counts, have been satisfied as well.
One issue about the remaining counts, they did not show my understanding of it, and the way that out of all the preliminary exams I've done, they show a certified copy of the criminal record, and this she did not. So that particular count, I don't think they met their burden. Because my understanding is that prior record was expunged. So with that particular count, I don't think they met their burden. That's why they couldn't do certified copy.
You have a response?
I don't have anything to support that there was an expungement. I have a copy of the defendant's criminal record. The officer in charge testified to that conviction exists on the criminal record. In my experience, the lien in the criminal record tells us if it's something is under HIDA or it's expunged or it's not to be, it's to be considered a different way. So I have nothing to support that it was expunged.
So the current statute doesn't allow for GBH to be expunged.
I don't know.
It does not.
Okay, so.
But don't they have to show a certified copy of it? And I mean, him just saying that he ran the lien, they didn't even give me a copy of the lien because my understanding is legally you can't give people a copy of the lien.
Yeah.
My understanding is that for that particular count to be bound over, she has to show a certified copy of conviction.
Well, you're relying on talent, basically. It's the same as if you had an officer who stopped someone and relied on liens to say there was no insurance or some type of license suspended, which would be another conviction, criminal misdemeanor. So you put on the record that you object that it's hearsay for the talent information to be relied upon for the FIP. And I'm still gonna bind it over with the record to be clear that people are relying on talent as their proof that he was convicted of that crime.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna bind you over, Mr. Terrell. Your arraignment on the information day will be 2 weeks from today, so that will be 16th of July at 9:05 a.m. Of course, no contact with the complaining witnesses. Well, actually, complaining witness, and I believe that's it. Correct?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Fine, continue.
News. Attorney Marable, can you approach for a quick moment? Okay, 2456810, the people of state of Michigan versus Sheldon Anthony McCarver. Charged with count 1, assault and attempted murder, count 2, assault and attempted rob while armed, count 3, home invasion, first degree, count 4, assault and attempted great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, count 5, assault and dangerous weapon, felonious assault, with the habitual offender, second offense notice, set for an exam. Appearances?
Good morning, Your Honor. Martin, your assessment on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dennis Whitey, P79560, on behalf of Sheldon McCarver. Your Honor, my client is not present with me today. He is incarcerated in Wayne County Jail. I arrived today, tried to establish contact with them. Court security staff downstairs advised that he was never brought over from the jail. Your court officer is kind enough to look into that. Apparently, he is in the jail. It's not understood why he was not brought over. Given that though, Judge, I'm sure the prosecutor's gonna make a motion to adjourn based on good cause. And honestly, I need my client here to do this exam. And so, you know, while I normally would jump up and down, object, and put on a big fit and show, I'm not gonna do that because I want my client here. Also, just to point out to the court, the bond conditions that you set, Your Honor, is not a remand, it's merely house arrest with tether. So this case is not holding him in the Wayne County Jail. He has another case at Wayne County Circuit, albeit much less serious, that he was remanded on for failing to appear. So I just wanted to point that out, that I would normally also be arguing for bond, personal bond, but you've already pretty much given that, Judge, so I won't be making that argument. Given that, I know we need to pick some dates, and I'm ready to do so.
And just that we ask that the bond not change, Your Honor, and that this court's bond remain in place. For even the reasons that defense counsel stated, given that he is remanded on another matter for failing to appear. You know, as a result, that shows that he doesn't appear on his own volition. Yes, the defendant was not brought over. The people were ready to receive. We had several officers here, as well as the complaining witness, who has diligently appeared at every exam date, including the prior exam prior to its dismissal. We are just asking for an adjournment. We're asking for that date to be July 22nd, given that some, not only my OIC, but several other officers will be on furlough prior to that date. They work.
July 22nd would work for me if it's later morning.
Thank you for being the day ahead of.
We work well today.
Yes, we do. Much
So,
appreciated.
Since we're on the record, also, you did receive, the transcript, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor, I did receive that. And I also provided a copy over to the people, so
You did.
so everybody's on the same page.
Let me make sure. 22nd works. It will work. You're out of time. Okay, how about 11:30?
Works great for the people.
11:30 would be great, Judge.
No, Judge, thank you.
No, Judge, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. White.
That fast? I forgot what I just said. 1. Also, Darby Brown, who's defendant number 2. Both defendants charged with count 1, controlled substance, delivery, manufacture, cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic less than 50 grams. Both defendants charged with count 2, controlled substance, delivery, manufacture, cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic less than 50 grams. Defendant 2 has an habitual offender second offense notice, and defendant 1 has an habitual offender third offense notice, both set for exam today. Appearances.
Good afternoon, Dennis, on behalf of the people, P 87439.
Good afternoon, Judge Rosemary Dare, P number 37888, on behalf of Derek Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, state your name.
Derek Jackson.
Okay, and Attorney Marshall.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Hugh Marshall, P 48269, on behalf of Darby Brown. Received communication, several texts on his way. Hopefully he'll arrive shortly.
And because of the situation, I know that this case is not going today. I called the matter, even though he's on his way. We'll have to wait for him. Okay, so what's going on, Ms. So,
Yes, Judge, the people were notified today upon speaking to the officers present that one of the officers and one of the more important witnesses, Officer Oravis, is on furlough and he will not be back in service until July 8th. And I will not be able to proceed without him. Furthermore, I could have held this exam in part with my other witnesses present. However, they have left, even though I've instructed them to wait until it's put on the record. There's no one outside anymore. So without them present, I can't even hold the exam part.
Having said that, the furlough is not a good cause for adjournment. The other witnesses left, they were here, I saw them here before the start of the exam. And for purposes of a motion to dismiss, I believe the defendant's presence, I'm gonna respect the request of the case be dismissed. There's also no,
Yeah, I just did.
well, let's scratch that last sentence, but there's no witnesses.
Your Honor, I agree.
Sorry.
Wholeheartedly. We're here.
now I usually find furlough as the cause, but the morning of, it's not. So it's not your fault. You don't know when officers are on furlough. They do, and they get months notice. So to not contact you all after we subpoena, to be notified of the case to let you know is unfair to you. And then also to have the officers leave. And it's 12:21, the exam is set for 11:45. It hasn't even been an hour and you told them I leave. So I am going to dismiss without prejudice. I am waiving Mr. Brown's presence, seeing that he's on the way. Attorney Marshall's on to report. I do leave him. I do want to speak to Mr. Brown when he gets here. I need to see that he did come to the courthouse. And if, for you, Mr. Jackson, since you're here, this is dismissed without prejudice. So what that means is if the police wish to reissue this case, they can do so by law, but at this time it's being dismissed. You have a tether on you.
No, I don't have nothing.
You have no bond or anything.
No, I just had, I was just.
Yes.